What is up, everybody? You're live with the Prodigy. It's another great episode. Damn, we haven't done one of these in a long time. It's the Monday Night Ramble, where we're going to talk about a lot of news, rumors, updates as it relates to combat sports, UFC, MMA, wrestling, all those great things that fall under action combat sports. I am TJ the Prodigy, your host. BX Cadet, my MMA correspondent, will be joining us very momentarily. Man, we've been just going hard in the paint, man, with a lot of reporting. A lot of news. Sometimes we get on here and do, politics, comedy. We're political pundits to everything. We're not talking about everything, but our passion is combat sports. That's what we're going to talk about here. Starting off with WWE, I'm going to let JoJo come in and do the MMA portion of the show. A lot of exciting things coming up for MMA fans. It's been a loaded, I would say, last 2 months for the UFC specifically. In the midst of the controversy of the very erroneous decision for UFC president, one of the very many key players in UFC, Dana White, allowing Francis Ngannou's contract to basically just expire. I believe that was in February, so it's been a couple weeks, about 7 or 8 weeks since that happened. But very strange times in UFC, but some type of way they managed to bounce back. What is up, Omari? You probably bring him up in a little bit to talk about some things about wrestling. Really strange time in the world of UFC and pro wrestling. More so pro wrestling than UFC, but as I said a second ago, I'm going to get JoJo to come on here in a minute to talk about all that. First thing, the most important thing that I got out of WWE is probably going to be so. And it's about damn time because nothing at this point, not much I should say, can save WWE with the state that is in right now. Vince McMahon, it's all but forced out of big control with this company because a lot of it, unfortunately, he put on himself with a lot of sexual misconduct and just misappropriating funds allegedly from the stock payers. That's some no type lane stuff. I don't know why he never thought that type of stuff will be exposed or that people won't find out. But I mean, he has been a very powerful and invincible man for way more than he hasn't been. So yeah, Omari, I'm gonna bring you up in just a second. He's been a powerful man a lot longer than he hasn't been. So it couldn't have been a worse time for Vince McMahon than it is right now. And just to let y'all know, it's not going to be a very long show, maybe an hour, a little bit over an hour, maybe 75 minutes because it's my work week. So I don't stay on very late when I have to work Monday through Friday because I have to get up 6-ish in the morning. So, and have a lot of energy because my job is very, a lot of standing and moving. So, yeah, that's what's going on with Vince McMahon. But Nick Khan, WWE CEO, made a statement about the current status of the sale and them talking to business people. So this is courtesy of WrestleZone.com. What author wrote this so I can give credit? Anthony Nash from WrestleZone.com, who's owned by Mandatory. I believe Mandatory owns them. Wrote this article today and it's as follows. Matter of fact, I can put this up on the screen. Give me 2 seconds, y'all. So we can I'm very interactive. I like people to see things along with me. Hold on. Let's put this up on WrestleZone to read this together. So, WWE CEO Nick Khan comments on WWE media right negotiations. So it's less about a sale, but kind of because media rights are important when it comes to a sale. They want to know how marketable you are when it comes to these. Well, these TV network executives are different now. They just want live content, whether it's good or bad, because they keep giving. They gave AEW 2 shows. They tell you everything you need to know. They're just satisfied with people having 1 million viewers and they can sell advertisers too. Which I don't know why they don't just sell they sell foods. A lot of the comic book nerd friend like fast food, so I guess that's something. But it seems like their target audience is way off. You think they want to sell to the 18 to 49-year-old demographic of masculine men because every other media source isn't doing that. So it's an untapped market. What is old is new again. So I don't understand why they aren't doing it. But anyway, the article reads as follows. As rumors and reports continue to surface regarding WWE's media right negotiations and a potential sale, WWE CEO Nick Khan spoke to Sports Business Journal about the company's position heading to negotiations. On the topic of the company and its position as it heads into a new round of media rights negotiation, Khan said that he thinks the company is in, quote, good position thanks to its ratings and how relevant. See, right here, I just want to stop where he said thanks to this rate. This shows you that these media people are suckers because WWE ratings is awful as it relates to the NFL, which is another big media conglomerate. They get a bunch of money from Fox and NBC and all these big corporate companies. Amazon, I think, was in negotiation with giving the Amazon. That's a new partner of the NFL as of 2000, I believe, 21 or 22, something like that. But yeah, they are suckers, man. And I think the United Arab Emirates is the best choice to sell WWE because they're the only people that can make the product enjoyable again. Because I think that they obviously have a focus on star power. They get the Logan Pauls. They want, they even wanted people from the 80s to be that Hogan and Macho Man, even though they didn't know he passed. Yokozuna, Ultimate Warrior. Logan Paul's always over there. Goldberg. So they have an emphasis on big stars. Cena, Undertaker. So they like big stars. So I think at this point, and they also know that women's wrestling has a certain appeal to it, which it does. It's not about being sexist. Just wrestling has never been a female focused type thing. That it's a male focused product. It's more male fans than female fans. And WWE are trying to force this, shoehorn all this, keep it up with mainstream media, and that's why their numbers are going down. It is no metrics to indicate that women's wrestling is successful outside of them being mostly eye candy, which is it's just the truth. We could try to pretend and all this stuff, live in a this utopian world, but that's that we're not there. Hopefully someday we will be, but women's wrestling is it's not seen highly. Look at all these pay-per-views that's been produced that's failed. All these evolutions and NWA Empower pay-per-view, they've done bad numbers. That shows you that wrestling is still a male-dominated product, or at least visually a male product. Okay, Nick Khan continues. If you look at the ratings and relevancy of our product, y'all not that relevant like y'all think y'all are. We like to think we're in a good position. It's like you like to think that you're the operative word is think. You're not in a good position. I'm sorry. I like Nick Khan, but he's off on this. This is all corporate speak. We look to get into the heat of the conversation first with our incumbents by the middle of the year or so, depending on the timing and how strategic alternatives shake out. It will be either be the middle of the year, getting hot and heavy, or sometime shortly thereafter. I think the best time to sell this product right now is right after WrestleMania season before things get worse. It's a little bit of interest in the WWE product, but for a traditional WrestleMania season, it's awful. When you have less than 1 million people talking about your biggest show of the year, something is wrong. WWE is in big ass trouble right now. And I don't know what much can fix them at this point because they refuse to get out of their own way. They flooded their flagship show with unrecognizable indie talents that people already jaded of wrestling the last 10 years. It's just getting progressively worse. The numbers show WWE loses 10% in its audience every year. Every 365 days, they lose about 10% of their audience. And this has been happening for about 20 years. It's been on a steady decline for 20 years. And they just refuse to get out of their own way. And I don't understand what they're waiting on. But, I mean, better now than never. But I would say sell about the rest. Stop the bleeding before things get really bad because it's a decent amount of interest because of some of the names that'll be there, specifically people like Logan Paul, and plus some of the celebrities they're going to have. I think Snoop Dogg's going to be there. I'm sure Rock's going to do something. He's not going to wrestle, unfortunately, and not be a part of the biggest storyline in wrestling. But, yeah, they need to stop the bleeding while they can. Let's see what else. I see he mentions NBA. Let's see how he relates to this. When it comes to competing against the likes of NASCAR and NBA, which will also see its own media rights come up alongside WWE, NASCAR has media rights. And Khan said that he thinks, quote, there's plenty of money out there for us. He also touched on potential sale of WWE, noting that it might be tricky navigating both a sale of the company as well as new media rights. Yeah, because y'all product is bad. Nobody, they're not going to give y'all $9 billion. I think that's what did they ask for, $9 billion or $9 million? I want to say it was like $9 billion, which is an absurd amount of money. Most media, it's a lot of mergers going on right now, which is bad. When it's mergers between companies, that means one of the companies can succeed. So they had to consolidate things together to make it more bearable and more manageable. Mergers are not always a good thing. When one company acquires the other one, an acquisition, that's not good. And that's kind of the unfortunate situation that WWE's in right now. And I think he knows this. Nick Khan is trying to save face, but it's not WWE's. It's not a hot market ticket like the NFL is. Like they're struggling right now to get anybody to pay that type of money for them. Like Saudi might do it just because Saudi is behind on the times, and they desperately need something because they're looked at as an ass backwards culture. So they're the only people I can really see and bite on this absurd amount of money that WWE is asking for with the sale. I don't see any other reputable American company paying this type of top dollar money. Well, Fox and NBC is a little insane to do it, but I honestly think with the NFL being around, they're not going to have a whole lot of money to give to WWE probably. They're probably like, dude, fuck y'all. We giving this to NFL, something people actually want to watch, not this kiddie late night bull crap that y'all put on. So that's what it seems to be happening. I'm going to bring up Omari in just a second. It was one other real big major news piece that I want to go over, and that's Vicky Guerrero. Vicky Guerrero, actual star, excuse me, will be a free agent and out of purgatory that's called AEW come July. I think that's way too late. I don't know what. It probably would have been a headache and probably very fiscally and economically irresponsible for Vicky Guerrero to try to get her way out of a contract. But she should have been trying to get out of AEW a long time ago. Andrade hasn't even been on TV. These particular individuals have been grossly misused by a company that don't know what to do with legitimate stars. Here's the article right here with Vicky Guerrero. I think Vicky Guerrero should have been trying to get back in WWE a long ass time ago, because right now with the Judgment Day storyline and the large focus of that being Dominic Mysterio being disrespectful to his father, which is about to lead to a large showdown in a large Hispanic market where WrestleMania will be taking place in Inglewood, California, where LA, which is a couple miles away from, no more than a couple, 25 or 30 minutes away from LA, has a large Hispanic market and audience and residency, I should say, that will really buy into this story. So WWE's smart to have a legend like Rey Mysterio, who's Latino, have a high-profile feud going into this WrestleMania. He's one of the few big stars that's going to be at this event other than John Cena that's actually in a match. I'm not talking about celebrity cameos. I'm sure we'll have a couple of those if WWE smart. And the crazy part about it, they're splitting this watered-down show between two nights, which is crazy. So the more star power, the better. A recognizable name like Vicky Guerrero, who gets legitimate heat, is one of the few people that could propel Dominic Mysterio to superstar, because Judgment Day is not going to do it. Judgment Day is a product that's only watched by the most hardcore niche WWE fans. Is that Shaw Guerrero? No, that's not Shaw. I thought that was her daughter, who's very talented. But Vicky Guerrero will be a great asset to WWE right now when they don't have a lot of credible managers other than MVP and Paul Heyman. They don't have many credible managers outside of those two. And then MVP's not always on TV, so it's really just Paul Heyman, who's consistently been involved in the most relevant WWE story, and that's the Roman Reigns Bullet Line storyline. So let's read this official article, another one courtesy of WrestleZone.com. This is by Colin Tessier. I believe that's how you say his name, Colin. How you say Vicky Guerrero confirms that her time with AEW is coming to an end. In an interview with Denise Salcedo, who does this show, Guerrero noted that she will be leaving AEW after July and focusing on other projects. Blah blah blah. I have a TV project coming out that I can't say yet, but it's not publicly been announced, but it's going to be really exciting. Should be interesting to see what that is. It's not a lot of good content. Hopefully Vicky does well on that. I was giving a shout out to Naomi the other day. I hope she does well on her particular show or her endeavor. She's doing modeling. She's doing some Comic-Cons. Free yourself from just wrestling. It'll cripple you and make you regret it. Now, if you're good at wrestling, do it, but learn how to take breaks. Always have something else going on. And also, wrestling is a business. If you let it control you, it will. You have leverage over wrestling. It's always beneficial to have leverage over the wrestling business, or it will suck you dry. I've seen it happen numerous times. We've seen it happen. That's why over 70 wrestlers have already dropped dead, because they let the business unfortunately consume them. She's got books. I know Vicky went to like medical school or something like that. So the good news is she's leaving this company that's going down, that's becoming more and more niche, that's less alienating its hardcore fan base. The good news is Vicky's getting the hell out of there. But as far as within the world of pro wrestling, I think she'll be very beneficial going back to WWE and helping out and getting to another feud with the Mysterio family. And at this point, because I'm all about putting over your younger talent, you have to prepare for the future. Something WWE has not done a good job at lately is preparing for their future. Now is the time to do it with a star like Dominic, or not a star, but a wrestler like Dominic Mysterio, who's kind of on the rise and looking for something to kind of really sink his teeth into. And working with his father I have to admit, it's been one of the better things on WWE TV. That's not the Bloodline, because the Bloodline thing honestly is getting a little old. We kind of seen what it's been. I feel like it's peaked, and I'm about time ready for it to be over with. Especially with the unfortunate news, as per plan, that The Rock will not be the person that's taking the belt off Roman Reigns. It's like it's going to be this ridiculous main eventer, Cody Rhodes, who's that's absolutely ridiculous. You're talking about a guy that has absolutely no mainstream star appeal. Most people don't know who he is. He's done some treacherous stuff like leave AEW when he couldn't get his way, despite being an executive of the company. I don't understand what this guy wants. But as of right now, unfortunately, this is the part where I'm gonna bring up Omari. Omari, be looking out for your inbox, man. I'm gonna send you an invite. We're gonna discuss a little bit of this WrestleMania card, because this is the final show Raw before WrestleMania, and they got one more show, SmackDown, which is I'm pretty sure is going to be absolutely nothing, because they don't want the wrestlers to get hurt before WrestleMania. But it was way too many shows before WrestleMania, and it made it feel longer. And I covered a lot of this shit, not that I had to, but because I know fans and certain people want to hear me talk about it. So that's why we did it. Omari, I just sent that invite, so you can go ahead and get on here. But as it stands right now, WWE is continuing with the tradition of WrestleMania being 2 nights, which sounds absolutely dreadful. I'm only gonna watch the second night. I gotta work on night 1 anyway. So I'll only cover the second one. As of right now, opening the show, Austin Theory versus John Cena. That's probably going to be the best thing from night 1. You got your most recognizable star in WWE from this decade, John Cena, being gracious enough with his extremely, extremely busy schedule. Mari just joined us. His extremely busy schedule, and he's doing the courtesy of helping out this pathetic ass company right now, and that's John Cena. He's returning night 1. He'll against Austin Theory. Logan Paul's going to be on night 1. That's a bit of a surprise, but they needed the star power, honestly. Logan Paul's going to be on night 1. Brock Lesnar almost on night 1. Actually, no, night 1's not looking too bad. Then you got Tristan Lita. The other people in that match don't even matter. The fact is, it's Tristan's Lita. This is actually not, I'm not going to lie, this don't look as bad as I expected it to. Roman Reigns, of course, the wild card. Him and Cody are wrestle on night 2. I guess it's for both of the belts. Oh, man, WWE's in trouble. They couldn't have Karrion Kross go for one of the belts. Night 2's looking awful so far outside of the Edge match and Dominic Mysterio's match. Everything else I could care less about. I already knew Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn was going to go for the tag titles. Ricochet and Braun Strowman are just thrown in some random ass tag team match. You got some random girls match for the tag team titles. Nobody ever knows who's the tag team champions in the women's division anyway. Yeah, night 1 is definitely, I'm regretting watching night 2 at this point. I might broadcast on night 2, but cover night 1 matches, because I don't really care that much about the Edge match, but I'm sure they're gonna do a good job because the Demon Finn Balor's coming back, and I'm hearing Gangrel's supposed to come out with Edge, so that'll be a cool visual and kind of a cool nostalgia for old school wrestling fans. But with that said, what's up, Omari? Man, what's going on, dude? Omari's back with us, man. Somebody I'm enjoying having on the show. It's kind of a regular now. What's up, dude? What's going on, man?
Nothing much, I'm trying to 2 things I'm trying to wonder. First one is I wonder why WWE doesn't sell their older merch, retro merch, because I want the old John Cena merch, like his, the chain gang baseball jersey he had in 05. He was fitting with Angle.
Yeah, I remember that.
I want that jersey a lot, and I'm trying to find that, but it's the only way you can get it is eBay, and I don't trust eBay because I want other older merch, other retro merch. And then second is I'm looking for that 106 in Park episode that has Cena that was rapping on it. I want to see that episode. I just can't.
Might have to get BET Plus to watch that, because I'm pretty sure they got that on BET Plus.
But did you watch it when it came out live? Because
I don't remember it, but did he have a hat on or something like that? Did he have like a furry hat on that episode? Because I remember at one point he was wearing like a furry hat that WrestleMania when he called out Jay-Z. I want to say I vaguely remember seeing it being on 10. I didn't watch 106 in Park a whole lot. My sisters did, but I didn't. But it will be nice to find that. Your best bet will be to get BET Plus like a free subscription, because 106 in Park was part of BET. So that'll be your best bet.
I know he was like on Mad TV and he was like on VH1. He was appearing on stuff with like Method Man. And he was in rap songs back in the day.
Yeah.
Dang, he was pretty kind of mainstream even back then. Like, of course, he wasn't rock and Austin.
Right.
He was pretty decently mainstream. People think it became mainstream when he started to go to Hollywood. That's not true. I say it made him bigger, that in the memes. But like, he was pretty decent. He was pretty kind of big before then. Yeah, I know this is not the topic, but we'll get there. But I always hear about people saying that like girls used to do the UK see me had a crush on them back in the day.
Sure.
Then
I just want to piggyback on one thing you said about him being mainstream. It is no arguing that John Cena is the biggest WWE star of the 2000s as far as drawing power. The amount of shirts and merchandise he sold, as he's obviously this generation's Hulk Hogan. Just 40, 30, 40 years later, he's this generation's Hulk Hogan. That's all John Cena is. So it's no arguing. The purists can dislike him. We can dislike him and say he's corny, born Barney the dinosaur, which a lot of that stuff will be accurate, but you cannot deny the impact that this man made with kids and teens. He was on Nick Teen Choice Awards and all that type of stuff. All these, as you say, all this 106 and Park appearances and all this stuff. John Cena is obviously and clearly this generation's.
And this 106 in Park when it was in this peak. This is the mid 2000s.
Right.
You had to go in there around 05. This is 2005. 106 in Park was at its peak at the time.
Right.
Every black person, everybody you knew watched 106 in Park, especially black people.
Yeah.
It was essentially kind of like MTV. Everybody back in the day. That was peak.
I agree.
Even in 2005, I'll say he was decently mainstream.
Yeah. And
because you had the rap album, because the rap album came out, and
which was a good album.
And it peaked like number 20 something on the Billboard charts.
It was up there. I know that. I don't know numbers, but it was up there. It was a pretty good album. I was actually listening to it a couple weeks ago. It was a really good album. Cena had some good songs on there, especially the songs he did with Bumpy Knuckles. Those were like the big songs on there. But it was a very listenable album from start to finish. It was a good album. I like actually two of my favorite album came out that year. Maybe it was a little bit before that. 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying. I just remember it being in kind of the same time period. And those were like two of my favorite albums to listen to when I was early in high school around that time. That was like I was like a freshman in high school around that time. So that was real early into my teenage years. So I really enjoyed both of those albums. But it showed you the difference with mainstream stuff. And honestly, this year at WrestleMania, WWE should have tried to get Donald Trump. I think Trump would have did some good ratings for WWE.
I was gonna say this though. Is that because I was gonna ask you this since you was in high school around the time? Because usually when I hear people talk about it, they always say that like granted he wasn't like a Hogan or an Austin or a Rock, it wasn't because by then wrestling the boom was already by then it was over. But I always say that people used to wear the Cena shirts, talk about how cool he was with the raps. They say like girls who didn't even watch wrestling would do the UK see me. Talking about how he was. Was that the case with you?
That was absolutely. I mean, I did a little. I used to wear the chain on my neck, the Naughty by Nature chain, the padlock that Cena wears. And the funny part about it, your character, which 2K23 gives me nostalgia back in the early 2000s, 2002, 2003, John Cena, because your character is called a lock, and you can make it how you want it to look. Of course, on the commercial was a generic white guy, but my character is obviously black. He has braids like me in real life. I have braids, but it was cool. Like I made my character the Lock. He got the jean shorts with the briefs coming from under the chain. Like he's called the Lock. So it's pretty cool. And back then, yes, people were doing the You Can't See Me. So much so it was relevant in the mainstream wrestling world with Def Jam because I think Tony Yayo tried to sue John Cena and say he did it first, but I think WWE trumped him like, no, dude. Cena was doing this. Tony Yayo, you like one of the least relevant members of G-Unit. Even though G-Unit was a damn good group, Tony Yayo was like one of the minor characters, and he wasn't as relevant as the other three members. Even if you're including the game, 4 members.
So the You Can't See Me was mainstream.
Oh yeah, that was a big thing back then. That was a big. Everybody they were doing that on football fields. Yeah, You Can't See Me was the shit, man.
I thought I knew it was big back then, but I thought it became like big with the with the memes. I didn't know it was that big.
Before memes and Twitter. Keep in mind, Twitter was created in 2009. Like wrestling didn't have outside of forums and stuff like Reddits and shit like that. It wasn't nothing for fans to directly, make pop culture references with. Memes are like of the Twitter era. So this was way before Twitter. This was 5 years before Twitter. So no, they were doing that in arenas and fan fest and stuff like. No, they were crazy with the You Can't See Me. Cena was selling merch. The rapper Cena, this corny, colorful shirt. Cena, they sold a lot of merch with kids, but I mean, and I'm pretty sure it was some stuff like, oh, they reduced the price and stuff like that. Cena was a legitimate star. Everybody liked him when he came. Cena didn't start getting booed to when he wrestled Triple H in Chicago at WrestleMania 22. That's when they started booing John Cena. From 2002 to like early 2006, John Cena was still uber popular with everybody. He didn't start getting booed. I vividly remember at that WrestleMania, which was in my hometown in Chicago, John Cena started to get booed. That was the very first time he got booed. So he was cheered for like 3.5 years, almost 4 years straight. From the 02, when people was more, even when he was a heel, people was cheering him. Like he was the closest thing to the NWO, a one-man NWO in the Ruthless Aggression era. It was John Cena. Where even though he was a heel, he did cool shit, and you wanted to cheer him. Like when he was throwing the nuts at people and say you could choke on these, he'll actually have a bag of peanuts throwing them at people.
So he was Stone Cold in the late 90s. He was like that's what I'm thinking. He was close to the Stone
Cold. Sorta. Not quite, but sorta. He was the closest for that era. Yeah, he was the close. A lot of people try to say it was Nick Gage and who else? Like Necro Butcher and those dudes from CZW that was cutting themselves. No, that was unprofessional bullshit that people didn't watch. Only like nerds watch, like the marks. No casual person really knew about that. They stopped watching hardcore wrestling after ECW folded in 2001. They weren't watching that crap. If somebody sent it to them or something, yeah, but they weren't like intently, oh, let me look at that. No, they weren't, because it was it wasn't easy to find. One, you had to like probably tape swap with somebody. They weren't on mainstream TV because it was too violent. You couldn't put it. Like ECW was violent, but they were still on television. They weren't that violent. Like hitting each other with night tubes, having death matches, and they weren't doing that shit.
Even then, ECW got bounced off TV. So
right when they went to TNN, because that's when they got knocked off mainstream. But they was on like how Impact is on Access now. ECW was like how Impact was now, where it's on TV, but a lot of people don't got the channel, but it's still on a big network. That's how ECW was. Then when they went to a major network, what is modern day TNT, they got kicked off because they couldn't sell what they were doing. It was too bloody. So yeah, people, the closest thing that you had to like a kind of an Austin edgy character was John Cena in like 2002. That was 02, 03 John Cena. That was the best that you could do. And then I know a lot of these jersey companies, Mitchell and Ness and stuff, was happy because he brought jerseys back mainstream. Like people weren't really wearing college jerseys outside of the 90s. You'll have like some hardcore basketball fans, but it became pop culture relevant again because of John Cena will be wearing like insignificant, like he'll wear a Montana State jersey. Like who the hell wears Montana State? You know what I mean? What's that?
I said I kind of disagree though, because that was culture. I wouldn't say he brought it back because that was just culture at the time. The
NBA jerseys, not college jerseys.
Oh,
John Cena would wear college jerseys. No, I know NBA was it was still hot around that time because you had a lot of good players like Allen Iverson and LeBron and Carmelo was still popping up. Jordan was in his last run with the Wizards. No, jerseys was still like, I feel like jerseys fizzled out in like the mid 2000s, like overall. Like you'll see like very few people wear jerseys after that. John Cena brought college jerseys mainstream because every town he went to, he had a college jersey on. Like he was like had his finger on the pulse. But like I said, he would wear these obscure, Montana State, Wyoming. Like nobody even know what really, other than people that live in those states, nobody followed or wore those type of jerseys. And then he will always match out like a bandana. He was just cool. So if you use it to fashion and hip hop music, you were probably imitating John Cena around that time. You had the chains and stuff like that. And like I said, I had the chain as a teenager. I used to dress like that. So yeah, Cena was definitely a relevant thing, which takes us right into why it makes sense for him to have night one, open up night one. WrestleMania goes Hollywood. Who's more Hollywood than WWE right now? That's other than Batista, who's going into the Hall of Fame. He's not going to be on WrestleMania as far as I know, than John Cena. He's opening up against Austin Theory. I don't see too many people complaining about this. I think even the nerds like this because Austin Theory's a smart guy. Not only is Austin Theory understands sports entertainment, he's going to get over with the marks too because he has pretty good work rate because he was in Evolve and all that shit. So I think Austin Theory is going to be the first mainstream star that the first indie wrestler that casuals and hardcore fans are going to like because he's already kind of been. He was supposed to wrestle Cena last year at SummerSlam, but John Cena wanted to take a step back because that Vince McMahon stuff was hot, and he didn't want that to ruin them Comic Cons that he had coming up because they was taunting each other on Twitter and everything. That was supposed to happen at SummerSlam in Nashville last year. What were you going to say, Omar?
I just want to know more about the, because like a lot of people say Cena didn't make, like I said, like people, a lot of people say Batista was the bigger draw back then, and say like Cena didn't become mainstream until he started going to Hollywood and started doing
Nah, Cena was a bigger draw than Batista. Mainly, Batista would have been if he would have stayed around longer. Cena was already a couple years before. He was already doing his thing. Batista didn't get on top until 2005. Cena was already in his third year by then. So he was already, Cena was popular, and then that's why people accepted him being the WWE champion, because he had that run with the US title. He picked up steam going against that great feud he had with Eddie Guerrero. Then he had a decent one with Big Show, then JBL, and then at that point he was ready for the WWE title. Like everything Cena was doing, even when he was working with like Funaki, that shit was entertaining. He made a segment with Brian Kendrick, who's talented himself, very entertaining. When Brian Kendrick had the big ass Flavor Flav clock on, like that was entertaining TV. So now people that say that must have grew up. They must have grew up in like the like they was a teenager probably in the 2010s if they think. Now, as far as Hollywood, there's no arguing that Batista's had a better career than everybody in WWE. He's had a better career than The Rock. Cena is a close second. He's had a better career than Stone Cold, which I never thought I would say that. In Hollywood, if we're talking about movies and making big movies, Batista has been in way more mainstream movies than the rest of them. The Rock didn't get into mainstream movies until when he started getting into the Fast and the Furious series. That's when The Rock became more mainstream. JoJo also joined us. So we're going to go through this really quickly because this episode honestly is going to focus mainly on UFC, MMA, because we're going to do this WrestleMania shit. We've been talking about it, obviously, the last couple weeks, but we're going to talk about it, obviously, in detail, make predictions this weekend. We'll talk about that on Sunday. So this was just going to be brief wrestling talk stuff. So we'll quickly go through all this, and then we'll go to the UFC thing. What's that?
I was gonna say I'm gonna talk to you more about this, on Twitter, because I'm really kind of interested in this. Because I was young. I was real young at the time, so I wasn't old enough to understand what was popping in pop culture.
Absolutely. So we're gonna switch to UFC because it's the two things that we have to cover. That's gonna take a bit of a time, and then towards the end, I'm gonna make a little bit of time. We'll do a little round robin and just answer random questions about wrestling and stuff like that. So I'm gonna bring you down for just a second, Omari, and then I'm gonna pass it to JoJo, and I'm gonna bring you right back up.
All
right. BX Connect, what's causing all this, son?
What's going on? Chilling.
What's going on, man? Big time for MMA and UFC going on right now. Big things happening this weekend. I was a tad bit tired because I worked both of my jobs this weekend, so I was a little tired. But I was like, we'll make some time for it on Monday, and we here, man. I feel like this has been a hell of a month for MMA in general. They've had 3 hot fights in the last 3 of the last 4 weekends or something like that. It's been a hell of a fight month for UFC. They had to pick up a lot of ground that they lost with a lot of the the stuff with Francis Ngannou and all that. They was a bit in a, not a good spot for a while, but they bouncing back with some of these fights that's happening. So BX Connect gonna let us know what's causing all that with what's going on with all this. We got Adesanya coming up, and then this past weekend we had another fight that just happened, which was it Vera? The Vera fight? Who fought this?
Yeah, Marlon Vera versus Corey Sandhagen. It was a bantamweight fight.
Nice. What happened? What happened with these things, man? What's going on this weekend, son? Let us know all the things, the events and festivities that happened.
Man. Yeah, this weekend, UFC San Antonio took place in San Antonio, Texas.
Nice.
Corey Sandhagen fought Marlon Vera. Two of the top 10 bantamweights in the division. They squared off. Marlon was on a hot streak. Yeah, Marlon was on a hot streak coming into this fight. He was on a 4-fight win streak. He beat Davey Grant, Frankie Edgar, Rob Font, and then Dominic Cruz. Coming up against Corey Sandhagen, who's taking a little bit of some losses here and there, some wins, losses. Been a little mixy. What he was like 3-2 in his last 5. He came off a fight before this fight with a win against Yadon Song. So they fought in the main event here. Sandhagen won by unanimous decision. A lot of people thought it was going to be a competitive fight. Unfortunately, Sandhagen came prepared. He came prepared. That dude beat Marlon Vera from the first round to the 5th round. Masterful tactical skills, man. Good footwork was shown. A lot of volume was there. He took Marlon Vera down when he needed to take him down. He cut the corners when he needed to cut angles so Vera couldn't move much. He beat him up, picked him apart. For all 5 rounds, he got the unanimous decision. Holly Holm came back after a long little stretch. Nobody knew what happened. She recently signed a 6-fight contract. So she fought one of the other contenders there, and then in the co-main event, Yana Santos, and Holly Holm showed up. She showed some new wrinkles in her game, using the takedowns. Got a lot of ground and pound work done, a lot of control and ground and pound. One unanimous decision. The rest of the fight, the rest of the card, Nate Landwehr was on there. He got a 2nd-round submission win against Austin Lingo. That was pretty good. Controversial win. Macy Barber beat Andrea Lee by split decision. Albert Duraev got a split decision against Chidi Njokuani. Old school Daniel Pineda beat Tucker Lutz with a 2nd-round submission via guillotine choke. Daniel Pineda had a rough couple fights, couple losses here and there. He was suspended. He was in the PFL finals a few years back, close to making $1 million, but he popped for PED, so then he was out for like 2-3 years or something like that.
Damn.
Then he got picked up by the UFC, and so he's been on this little run of mixed wins and losses, but picked up a good win though on Saturday. Lucas Alexander got a win against Steven Peterson. After that, Peterson announced his retirement from the sport. He retires at 19-11. That's 30 fights, plus some amateur fights. He's 32 years old. He's had some rough fights. So, it takes its toll. He decided to call it a career. Godspeed to him. Trevin Giles beat Preston Parsons earlier. That was by a split decision. CJ Vergara was in the craziest fight of the night here against Daniel Lacerda, I should say. Daniel Lacerda da Silva, right? Yeah. Where Daniel damn near beat Vergara, almost finished him in the 1st round. Vergara literally ran away from him throughout the whole 1st round. It was the funniest shit you might ever see in an MMA fight, where a dude gets beat up and is literally running away from his opponent. Not trying to move away, literally running, like as if he's getting chased by pit bulls or Rottweilers. The shit was crazy. But the 2nd round, he managed to come back. He got caught in a calf slicer, like similar to AJ Styles' calf killer joint.
Yeah.
Manages to spin her out of the position, be like halfway caught, halfway out, and use that position to get some nasty ground and pound. Then gets his leg out and starts beating the brakes off this guy for a 2nd round TKO. And then Victor Altamirano defeated Vinicius Salvador by unanimous decision. And that fight was a banger of a fight, man. Also, we had one. One was on Friday. Yeah, a lot of fights on the one card kind of fell out during the week. They were supposed to have a heavyweight fight on the card, but that shit fell out because dude, that's the heavyweight champ. I don't know what the hell's going on in one, to be honest with you. It's some sketchy shit's going on. But on top of that, we lost what was it? Rodtang. Rodtang was supposed to fight in the main event against Superlek. Kitamonong. Yeah, you go. And Rodtang had to pull out due to injury. So we had a bunch of we had a replacement. So we still had the 2 title fights and a couple other fights in there. Tammy Musamechi, that was a grappling bout. Tammy Musamechi won that one. She beat this girl named Bianca Bastillo. There's a kickboxing fight. Iman Barlow made her debut. She fought Ekaterina Vandeyeva and won that. Eddie Abasolo had a nasty win, man. That dude knocked the hell out of this dude by the name of Nicholas Larson. Beat the brakes off that dude. That shit was dope. Kato Yamakita beat Alex Silva, unanimous decision. Aslanbek Zekriv fought Rui Botello, got a win by split decision. Paiman Zhang, aka the Rooster, the Fighting Rooster, fought Torepchi Dagak. There you go. Beat that guy by unanimous decision of the kickboxing bout. Akbar Abdullayev beat this dude Hotek O. There you go. Hotek O. Yeah, he beat him. That was if I remember correctly, that was a featherweight fight. He beat that dude in the first round. Yo, that shit was fire because the homeboy was trying to swing at him. He moved through the punches like he was in the Matrix. They caught him with a clean right uppercut under the arm. So he caught homeboy while homeboy was trying to put his defense up. Threw the uppercut right under his arm and caught him. And then just ripped. Beat the brakes. My homegirl Suhi Ham, she fought Isuki Harada and won by unanimous decision. Ham she fought in the UFC before. Then she got cut. They released her. She ended up fighting in Korea and Japan, where she won the Road Fighting Championships. She fought in China. There you go. She won the Road Fighting Championship, the atomweight title, beat Invictus atomweight champion in the process, and then went to Ryzen and won the Ryzen atomweight title. And then now she's here at 1. So with this win, she should be able to fight the one atomweight champion. So that's pretty dope. Alicia Rodriguez fought Janet Todd to unite the Muay Thai, the atomweight Muay Thai championship title. She won. She beat Janet Todd. Good fight between the ladies. And Superleg beat Daniel Williams. Third round, nasty head kick. Daniel got up from the head kick, but boy, that man took a combo that the ref should have stopped. The ref did not stop it. Dude kept throwing the punches still and then knocked this dude clean out with a right hand. Bro, it was just a ridiculous combo. Like some shit you see in a video game, but that shit was fire. So that was what happened. Oh yeah, PFL had a Europe event. There's nothing really crazy to talk about. It was okay because it just showed the talent, the European talent that's over there that the PFL is starting to gather up. So it was a good showcase of people you never knew. I didn't know a lot of these guys either, but it was a good set of fights. Couple good wins there. 2 fights that you should see is the co-main and the main event. Where Dakota Ditcheva, that the company is really big behind. Young girl, her mom was a world-renowned kickboxer. She won by a rear naked choke against Malin Hermansen, the first round rear naked choke. Good kickboxing skills, but showing her some jiu-jitsu skills as well. And Simeon Powell got a arm triangle choke. Technical submission, arm triangle choke. Second round. So that was that. Because dude was in the triangle choke, and the bell rang, but he was unconscious. So that's what happened. So that's why I call it technical arm triangle choke. Because the bell rang, but he couldn't answer. He was unconscious. So that was that. So that's what's taking place. There was some boxing. Boxing was pretty good. David Benavidez beat Caleb Plant. Fire fight. If you didn't go check that, I suggest you do. This weekend there's Bellator. There's Ryzen. If you got Fight TV, go check out Ryzen. Anthony Joshua is fighting Jermaine Franklin on boxing this weekend. PFL 1 takes place this weekend. Ramirez versus Dogbo is boxing. And WrestleMania night 1 and 2 take place this weekend. So in 2 weeks, we got UFC 287 live in Miami. The Alex Pereira, Israel Adesanya rematch. A lot of noise being made on that card there, man. This will be the rematch. As we know, the first fight, Alex beat Izzy in the 5th round. Izzy had a good strategy, man, but in the process of him using the good takedowns, he rocked Alex in the 1st round, but Alex managed to shake it off and keep the fight going. Even though he got taken down, he never stopped throwing punches. Eventually, during the 4th round, he really started clipping Izzy bad. And when the 5th round came, he unleashed. God damn, that dude's asleep. And so he unleashed, and man, that was that, yo. So Izzy, so Alex won. Since then, he's been trolling Izzy on the internet, on social media.
Damn.
Yeah, look at him, that man fucked up.
Yeah, he fucked him up.
And so,
and that was like UFC technique, JoJo. He was like hammer fisting dude and everything.
Hell yeah,
like UFC shit
for real, man. So yeah, man. So that shit's gonna happen. So the rematch, main event is gonna be Alex Pereira, Israel Adesanya. The rematch. Mm-hmm. This will be the 4th time these guys fight each other in combat sports.
Damn.
They fought twice in kickboxing, and this will be the 2nd time they fight in mixed martial arts. Nice. Which is crazy. And it's insane that Alex Pereira won all 3 of these fights.
Wow.
Yeah, he won one by decision. He got a knockout in the rematch in kickboxing. Then he gets a TKO the first time they fight in mixed in MMA.
Dang, man.
And it's gonna be crazy to see what improvements Pereira has put together. What improvements Izzy's put together. Alex's boxing is sparring with monster-sized dudes, man. And he's boxing with a current Olympic silver medalist from 2008 Beijing, a Chinese dude by the name of Zhile Zhang. Okay. The dude is about 6'6".
Damn.
6'8", 200 plus pounds. Alex Pereira fights as a middleweight, as people know. That's 185. But outside of weight, he's probably walking around at like 215, 220 something.
Wow.
Maybe two. That's a big
motherfucker. Yeah.
But he could cut weight. Yeah, he cuts weight well. So when he goes into fights, man, he's massive, bro. Yeah. He's a massive guy, and people try to downplay it, but it really he's a big guy. He seems to have really good recovery ability. Damn.
Oh shit.
And freaking his KO ability. His KO ability is OD.
Speaking of KO ability,
just like that.
Damn.
His KO ability is just like that. If he hits you one time with his left hand, you're dead. Just like that. Stiff.
Damn.
So yeah, that's the main event. Miami's boy, Jorge Masvidal, comes back to fight Gilbert Burns. Rob Font fights Adrian Yanez. Paul Rosas Jr. fights Christian Rodriguez. Kevin Holland fights Santiago Ponzinibbio to kick off the main card. There's a bunch of other prelim fights on this card as well. Like Beast Boy Chris Barnett's fighting a heavyweight. The new boy Joseph Pfeiffer is fighting Gerald Mearshart, which is dope. Kelvin Gastelum comes back to fight. We haven't seen him in like forever. Michelle Waterson is fighting in a fight, man, against Luana Pinheiro. Two hot ladies, man, in the strawweight division. They gotta tear it up. And Lupita Godinez, she fights too against Cynthia Calvillo. So that card's gonna be dope, man. But there's gonna be a lot of stuff going on this weekend, going into next weekend. I look forward to it, man. First PFL event of the year. Official US PFL event of the year going down this weekend. So I got to catch that. I'm gonna watch that. Gonna watch that part and try to catch part 1 of WrestleMania 39 here live in Hollywood. But yeah, man.
Dude, before you got on, we was just reading the night 1. That fucking card is stacked on night 1, dude. They got like a lot of the best matches on the first night.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised about that.
Me too.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised about that. They actually, they've lined it up where majority. If you look at the night one, because they announced it a little bit. I heard over the weekend how they lined it up. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah. I'll put it up real quick. Actually, I'm sorry. Were you done talking?
No. I'm done talking.
Oh, okay. As you can see right here, of course, Saint in Theory that we already knew that was announced maybe about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And, Paul Rollins, Trish and Lita gonna be on night one. Lesnar almost, and then Ripley and Charlotte. Holy shit! Like that's like most of the main event shit. You know what I mean? Then Roman and Cody is night 2. Then we got Bianca and Asuka. Edge is on night 2. The Usos and Rey Mysterio. Holy shit. And Strowman too. So I guess, I mean, Lashley's not doing anything. If I had to, I mean, I don't see him nowhere on here. Unless they're going to put him in some random unannounced bullshit.
They might put him in the Andre the Giant Memorial.
Hopefully he wins.
They might put him in that from what I've seen. I hope they do some last minute stuff for him. I hope.
Yeah, me too.
Last minute match or something. Yeah.
They should have the Usos fight twice. The Usos can fight Saturday against the Hurt Business, and Sunday they can go against KO and Sammy. I don't see why they'll just do that. And then Lashley, who's the United States champion right now? Who's U.S. champion?
Theory.
Oh yeah, there he is. The United States. Okay. Lashley just got to go. Why? Lashley should have just went against Gunther. Fuck Sheamus and fucking Drew McIntyre. Put Lashley against Gunther. Like those motherfuckers already went for the title.
No, if you see
what, son? Like,
I don't know if you've seen on Twitter, man. There's been a campaign for that.
Oh, it hasn't.
Bobby Lashley jump into the Intercontinental title. Yeah. A lot of people have been saying that if Lashley's not gonna fight nobody, not gonna wrestle nobody, put him in the match with Gunther and them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just as Rick Ross would say, it only makes sense, man. You got to put him up in the fucking match, dude. Like McIntyre and fucking Sheamus has been fighting Gunther since like the fucking fall. Like give this shit a break already, dude. And then it's not really getting no traction. I mean, yeah, the hardcore fans like it, but you got to put somebody. And then on top of that, as far as who's more hard hitting than a motherfucker like Lashley who fought for Bellator? Like, come on, he fits the scenario. Like this is not hard to comprehend, y'all. It really isn't. You know what I mean? Just I don't know what the Fiend went home and licked his wounds or something. He gonna come back with another character he gonna have. Yeah, I don't know what it's gonna be. He already had the goofy ass Mr. Rogers. He had the Uncle Colonel Sanders shit. I don't know what what he gonna be, a garbage truck person this time, a spooky garbage truck person or some shit. I don't know what. Can you imagine him doing that, son? God. He's a spooky garbage. He's one of those them Scooby-Doo villains. I would have had it if it wasn't for those meddling kids. That's what his ass is. Oh, Mario, you back by the way. He gonna have. Can you imagine Bray Wyatt being a spooky garbage collector? I can see that goofy ass bullshit.
Oh my
some
God.
Shit they put on WWE Battlegrounds or some shit. Yeah, he gonna say I would have had it if it wasn't for the meddling kids. That's what he's gonna say. But real quick, y'all, let's talk about a couple things I've been and I want both y'all opinion on this.
I'm trying to find one of these older 106 in Park episodes. I want to find that scene one.
Yeah, you're probably gonna have to get BET Plus, my dude. That's the only way I can see you finding that. You know, YouTube copyright shit, so that you ain't gonna find it on YouTube.
It's not on there. I'm just going on BET Plus. It's not on there.
It's not really. Wait, is 106 in Park on BET Plus? For starters,
what I saw.
No, wow, that's strange because that was a big property on BET. But as far as Randy Orton, Jojo, you think he's done? You think Randy Orton done?
I don't think so. According from what I've heard and seen, we might get a special appearance from Randy Orton.
Really?
Between now and before the year ends. The dude's been looking in great shape. I don't know if you've seen some pictures of him recently, or he's been doing some around the town stuff. He's been in good spirits, man. He's been chilling. He's been trying to get his body back. Well, his shape is he's pretty good. He's a little slight thick boy, but yeah, he's been getting himself back in shape and he's been chilling. Word on the street is we may get the return of RK Bro, but it depends on what's happening on the side of Matt Riddle. we haven't seen Riddle in a while, and we know Riddle went to rehab. He had a bunch of stuff to take care of. So they're undecided on whether they're gonna link them back together, or is it just gonna be Orton coming back? But there's a lot of things that are happening, man. On that end, Kairi Sane is a free agent right now. And she might make a return back to the WWE, maybe.
I got a question for y'all. Sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Do y'all think The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin will make an appearance? I totally see Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I see Stone Cold.
I could see them making an appearance since it is Hollywood. I wouldn't rule like him making an appearance to hype up the crowd.
I can see The Rock showing up there.
Yeah, he'll be there.
I can see him being there. If he's not there at the night of, it'll be between now and SummerSlam.
Yeah.
If we don't see him at WrestleMania, we'll see him between now and SummerSlam. We'll probably see him.
I'm almost certain he's going to do something, though. It's going to be like when they was in Dallas at 32, where he makes like an impromptu appearance. He's going to be there. He's going to
plug himself. Yeah.
He's either going to come out, let's say, you know what? I will be surprised, or I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Let's say some type of way Cody is about to win the belt, and the Usos get involved again, and then they outnumbering Cody, and the Rock music hit, and the Rock go down there and help Cody Rhodes win. I would not be surprised if they do something like that.
The crowd will say shit if that happened.
Yeah, and I think that's the only thing that's going to get Cody organically cheered by everybody. The mark's going to cheer for him regardless. But I'm saying if casuals see The Rock, they're going to instantly be interested in seeing Cody Rhodes, and that's going to give him that final rub that he needs. And now that's the only way I will be okay with Cody Rhodes winning those titles. He win those titles, and guess what you got now? Roman is free of the belts. He could take a break for probably about 6 or 8 weeks, and now you got a B-level pay-per-view you could sell. Now you got The Rock versus Roman Reigns. This give The Rock more time to get prepared for the match. What's coming up in WrestleMania Backlash might be a little too soon for Roman, because that's in May or something like that. That might be a little too soon. You could set up where The Rock got more time to get in shape. You could have in Detroit at SummerSlam, you could have Roman Reigns versus The Rock, and it don't even have to be for the title. You could just have a grudge match, because Roman Reigns could say you betrayed the family, you betrayed the bloodline. And now we jumping way ahead, but now this got me thinking. My creative wheels are spinning in my head now. Now you got, for Survivor Series, you got plenty of time to set up the Rhodes family. They got to find some type of way to get Goldust to come back to WWE. You got the Rhodes family and The Rock against the Bloodline at Survivor Series. You got plenty of time to build towards that.
That would be cool, but I just think The Rock is done with wrestling. I just think the only time he'll come is to make appearances in the Hall of Fame. Actually, I take that back. I can only see The Rock having one more match, and that's if it's a match with his daughter. I can see him coming back for one more match to tag team with his daughter. That's the only thing I see The Rock.
Maybe. I wouldn't mind if they did that either. It's just, I'm saying that's the only way I'm going to accept Cody Rhodes winning those titles. If The Rock come down and help him, that's the only way I want to see that happen.
It looks like they might even possibly set up a plan B, because I don't know if you've been watching Raw lately, man. They've been sneaking Solo Sikoa in here, and Solo was supposed to be wrestling Cody Rhodes tonight.
Oh, really?
Solo hasn't lost since he's been out here.
Wow.
In Raw, if you noticed that since his Raw,
I have noticed he's been strong. I will say that.
He's been strong. They've booked him strong, and he might be a guy who may possibly turn on Roman.
Really?
They might have him possibly. I'm not saying from the looks of things though, because Solo's been like that. You know, he's been that
wild card.
Yeah. You know, where he wants to go and attack certain guys, and sometimes his brothers hold him back. Last Raw, he was gonna fight Cody, and Cody kept talking about, you're not ready. I don't think Roman thinks you're ready. You're not ready for this. Yeah,
Right.
so when Solo was gonna go and fight Cody, Roman held him back and said, "Nah,
Right.
don't do it."
I
And
see what
Cody
you're saying.
started poking in his ear. You know what I mean? Like, yo,
Yeah.
we don't
I see
believe in
what you're
you. So that's what leads to this match tonight between Cody and Solo. But yo, it might happen.
You know what?
They've been putting little option Bs if
Right.
things don't work out. They've been setting up for things if certain things don't work out. And
That's
those
not
major
the
storylines.
worst thing. It don't sound bad, but
No,
you know what? I would keep Solo with Roman just a little longer because he just got there, and they can go back to that later. The exact scenario you just said. I
yeah.
will have Jimmy Uso turn babyface. I will have, or maybe even Jay. Maybe Jimmy can stay with Roman because I think if they turn Jimmy babyface, the fucking marks online are gonna bring up that DUI bullshit, and they not gonna ever allow him to be a babyface. I think Jay can be a babyface at this point, especially with Naomi being done. She just announced officially that she was done. I reported it the other day that she's gonna go into Comic-Con and modeling and stuff like that. Good for Trinity, but I think a storyline to be a perfect way to get somebody to turn babyface from the bloodline will be to have Jay Uso say, "Dude, I've been loyal to you, Roman. I've done everything you asked. What has it done for me? My wife is gone. I don't know where she's at no more. I've been missing time with my wife." And then Roman Reigns can try to call him soft, call him pussy whip, and then Jay Uso slaps the shit out of him, say, "I'm done with your fucking bullshit, dude." And he walks off and leaves. You still got Jimmy, you got Solo Sikoa with Roman Reigns. So Jay Uso can be the baby face now. And you can have him go help Cody Rhodes. You can have Jay maybe team up with somebody else or something, or have him go on a singles run. It's a lot of stuff you could do. I could see Jay working with Gunther. Gunther's a heel. Why not have Jay go solo? Jay Uso was the glue that held the bloodline together in the early days when Roman Reigns couldn't be on every show. Give that man his flowers and give him at least an Intercontinental title run. At least give. That's not too much to ask for with Jay Uso. It's the perfect storyline when Naomi is trying to get him to snap out of it. The story writes itself. I don't see how they couldn't do that. If you're gonna turn somebody babyface, because Solo just got there, because you don't want it to be one of those things where he gets that irreversible heat because they tried to push him too quickly. We've seen it happen with too many wrestlers where they gonna resent. They tried that shit with Davey Boy Smith when 1995 for WWE was already a fucking shit pan as it was with fucking Viscera injuring Kevin Nash and he's fucking screaming at him at SummerSlam. Then they randomly turned Davey Boy heel out of nowhere, had him turn on Lex Luger. It was a fucking Lex Luger just quitting and going to. They had to do a double Royal Rumble. It was 94, 95 was a goddamn mess.
Yeah.
You know, I know you remember that stuff, son. Back
Anybody,
in
anybody that wants to say like 2010 or 2011 was a bad year for WWE, they haven't seen 1995 WWE.
Right. 2011 wasn't a bad year for WWE. It was like you still had the worst thing WWE did in 2011 was they broke the Nexus up for no reason. That was the worst thing. They started the core with fucking Ezekiel Jackson like that was going to go somewhere. Like, come on, dude. There is no stopping. Yeah, it was some stopping.
John Cena single-handedly destroyed the Nexus.
This man took a DDT on the floor and got up and beat both Gabriel and fucking Wade Barrett. And Cena, I'm sorry, and Edge and Jericho told him that was fucking stupid, and he didn't listen to him. Like, come on, dude. Like, and I know we rag on Triple H, specifically me, about him being a fucking asshole that never wants to put people over. But John Cena is an asshole too. A lot of people forget that John Cena is an asshole, dude.
Word, man.
And then he admitted later, I knew that was a bad idea. I beat the Nexus. Yeah,
no shit.
Like they were done after that. This man, then he beat them up at like a hotel room. Otunga was up there eating motherfucking filet mignon, and John Cena breaking.
Yeah.
Hotel room and beat both of them up. Otunga was over there bullying the room service guy, talking about, I don't want no cold food. Out of nowhere, Cena comes behind a curtain like R. Kelly and shit. Oh shit, son. What's that?
Speaking of theory match, I had an idea.
What's that?
This isn't going to be the first match of the night, and the crowd's already electric because Cena and it's going to be Cena's already going to be out there. Why not have Cena come out, as the Doctor of Thugonomics slash the Chain Gang Soldier.
Sure. Why
Think of it, because think of it, the crowd will absolutely explode if he comes back as Doctor of Thugonomics or the Chain Gang Soldier from that time.
And not only that, the whole theme of the show is Hollywood, so it fits the theme of the show. Like people going back to their roots, or Cena can come out as this might sound a bit corny, but maybe he can even come out as the peacemaker, and maybe something like that. You can have a hybrid where I don't see why he couldn't come out as the peacemaker or the character that he played in what wasn't he in wasn't he in an action movie? Wasn't Cena in one of the Fast and Furious movies? Or am I?
Yeah, he was.
Okay, maybe he can come out of something. Because he was dead. What's his name's brother?
He was Vin Diesel's brother.
Yeah, right. Okay, so you can have him even doing that. He could be rapping or something. Peacemaker might be a bit corny, so I would go with the Fast and Furious character. I don't see have him come down with the muscle car or something like that. It'll be some cool shit to have. And obviously, Theory has to go over. John Cena does not need to win this match.
I would say I would go with the safe option. Cena comes out as the Doctor of Thugonomics. The crowd goes absolutely wild.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Omari. I don't think a lot of the fans today remember that John Cena. I don't think they remember who that is. Like we do, but I would say maybe even some of the people your age might not even remember. If the first show they watch is New Japan or AEW, they not gonna know who John Cena was. Like even if they're of age, let's say they're like 18, 19, between 18 and 20. If their very first wrestling show they watch was a Dynamite or a New Japan, they not gonna know that rapping John Cena. They know the John Cena that their friends told them about, the one that was corny with the colored shirts. That's the John Cena they know. Most people not gonna know who that John Cena was.
But I feel that their older cousins or their older siblings or their parents showed them older clips or told them about Thugonomics, and plus he's came back, as the gimmick, a couple of times throughout the PG era, so they might be familiarized with it. So I don't know.
Think these fans they gonna respect. I think they gonna shit on it. I like the idea. Don't get me wrong. I like it, but I think they gonna shit on it because they shit on everything that's not AEW at this point. That's not AEW. And I want to piggyback on something JoJo said with the Kairi Sane. I like that idea, but boy, is it strange. Soon Sasha goes to AEW, Kairi's coming back to WWE because I think they could pass some good matches. I think Kairi, even though it don't appear that way because they started off with that botched ass DDT back gory special shit, I think Kairi can teach Sasha Banks how to wrestle properly because Kairi for a small and not only that, she's a good opponent for Sasha because the size similarities. So Sasha doesn't have to do a lot of heavy lifting because Sasha is the type of wrestler where she needs to keep everything as simple as possible. It's almost like who was some of those botchy ass, like they got superstar names, but they were shitty, like a Khali or like a goddamn Buff Bagwell. Like they got two left feet. They need to be kept as simple as possible. Sasha's in the category. Yes, I compared her to the Great Khali because she's just as sloppy as the Great Khali. The Great Khali was stumbling and bumbling. Not Lex Luger, but
Bam Bam.
I was just talking about him. The one that they said had the bad match with Booker T. Buff Bagwell. Bagwell was a good look, but he couldn't wrestle. He couldn't wrestle to save his head. If they put a gun in his head and said have a good match, he'd be dead. So it's just like he was cosmetics. Got the cocky thing going. Because Lex Luger was a body guy, but Luger can work. Luger worked with fucking Ric Flair. If you go back and I'm sure JoJo remembers some of this. Remember those matches that Luger had against Ric Flair when Luger was a babyface? Those were some good ass matches.
Yeah.
When he was wrestling for the NW, because a lot of people, he was a big meathead. No, motherfucker, Lex Luger can wrestle. Why do you think he's always in the main event? Why do you think he was in the Four Horsemen? You don't think they would have put him in a work rate group if he couldn't fucking wrestle?
The problem was it was the problem was WWE. That limited his style. If he was NWA, let him wrestle him full self because it was a work rate.
Are you talking about Lex Luger?
There's a reason why Hogan did. Like people think Hogan was never a good worker. Hogan was a good worker in Japan.
When he was in Japan, he was.
Yeah.
And WWE, that's the thing is that they because they understand that in places like WWE and AEW, it wasn't all about the work rate. It was about the character.
It was about capturing the fans.
If you want to see the perfect balance of work rate, if you're a modern AEW fan and y'all fans, y'all hate watching this show or whatever, if you want to see good company that's balance of work rate and storytelling, watch Mid-South from the mid-'80s. That is the perfect work rate product that had characters. Also, certain parts of the NWA, I would say, like, and when the Horsemen first formed, like 84, 83, that shit was good. When they had Lex Luger, bro, they had fucking everybody was there. Literally, Ravishing Rick Rude was there. Hogan was there. The Midnight Express was there. Not Hogan. The Rock and Roll Express. Flair and all of them was there. Fucking Barry Windham was there. Magnum TA. Everybody that was somebody that became a legend later was there. The Road Warrior. The Steiners was young, but they was there. Fucking Sting. Young Jim Hellwig, aka Ultimate Warrior. They had everybody around that time.
Yeah. I was just gonna say also SmackDown from 2002 to 2004, especially 2003 to 2002 to 2003, especially had great mix of work rate and characters.
Oh, you talking about with the SmackDown 6, the Paul Heyman? Oh, of course. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the issue right now that WWE's having. Like, I hate that it wasn't no draft this year. Even though with the draft, it's almost like, okay, if you're not gonna put in NXT people in there, why fucking bother with a draft? You have to put NXT. That's like the NFL not recruiting from NCAA football. Does that make any fucking sense? Like, you have to put NXT people in there too. Like, I'm not saying you got to put a bunch of them in there. Just put, why is Carmelo? Well, it's hard to put Carmelo in there because even though I like him and I want him to do well, they don't have a fucking cruiserweight title. I want to see Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams do well, but what could you have them do? Like when they come up to the main roster, like it seemed like whatever they could do is being filled by another role by now. But whereas somebody, let's take a like a Chase U, it's something you can instantly do with them to get them some heat, or you could do something with why is Indy Hartwell not with Dexter? I've said that a million times. She'd be a good female draft because there's a lot you could do with her. Who's another one? That Nikita Lyons might as well go to the main. Lash Legend, you could take that show and put it on the main roster. Raw needs some more shit. You know who I will put? This might sound a little crazy, and I pitched this in the past. If you don't put Lash Legend with MVP, put Lash Legend with Alexa Bliss. Have that talk show stuff, that a Moment of Bliss. Have her maybe be Alexa Bliss's assistant or something like that. That Moment of Bliss thing was decent. They introduced the women's tag team titles on there. They had some good shit on there. But one thing I would have added to the Moment of Bliss, and I got this from Disco Inferno. A lot of people forget how good of a brain that Disco Inferno has. Glenn Gilberti. I love Disco Inferno. But he was like, why would you have guys come out to Alexa Bliss and not hit on her? You see how hot Alexa Bliss is? Like, everybody was like being dismissive. And I know she was a heel, but you should have had like some guys trying to flirt with her and stuff like that. Like with Angel Garza and you know, the Austin Theories and Elias. You should have had them. Like, you got to have these talk shows mean shit. So I think Lash Legend is a wrestler that's ready-made. Because you know she's not going to ever win the world's title. Triple H is not going to put the title on somebody like Lash Legend. Just let her go to the fucking main roster already.
Yeah.
So they could have the Lash Legend show, like have it be like the Jenna Jones show from the 90s.
Or Wendy Williams, how Wendy Williams is. Where it's like gossipy shit and it start fights. And what they could do is they can take real life beefs that people got on social media and put that shit on the Lash Legend show. Like B-Fab. I think somebody like B-Fab would benefit being on the show like Lash Legend. Or I would say Hit Row in general. They would benefit of being on something.
Essentially make it the Jerry Springer show, just the WWE version.
Sure. I don't see why not. Like they can have, and I've always said WWE has not taken advantage of mainstream technology. They don't do it near. How do you got people like Top Notch? Jojo, are you familiar with the Top Notch Idiots, those prank dudes?
Yeah.
How do you? And I like those dudes, and I know both of them too, by the way. But I don't understand how WWE don't. How did these random ass dudes get cameras, and they got professional camera guys that follow them around? They pay for that stuff. How are they doing better than y'all with way less of a budget than y'all? Like, it is no way. Or shows like Dad Joke, or you roast me with like Boo Capone, Crater Face. Like it is no way these people are doing better y'all with less resources. They do not take advantage of social media nearly as much as they should, and it really irritates the fuck out of me. What's that, Omar?
This what I'm talking about. They don't have their culture. Look at what's happening in culture right now.
Yep.
You have everybody fighting. You know, you have people brawling at Walmart and stuff like that. You know, you have the whole core stuff, the left versus the right. That's in a group like D Generation X. People look at, I know people on our side look at me like I'm high when I say this, but D Generation X will work better these days than it ever did in 1998.
Probably,
because
depending on who's in it. Yeah,
if it's booked right, because how everything has become, that
right.
D Generation S would be really over today. A Stone Cold Steve Austin type character, honestly, will be more over today because because one, we don't have those type of characters no more in media. Everything's become too feminized. So a Stone Austin type character will get over really. Essentially, like a Stone Cold DX will get over better.
Yeah. You need those types of rebellious people or groups. Yeah.
You know what?
Nowadays, yeah.
And now that y'all saying that, as I was talking about the NXT people that could be called up, Joe Gacy fits perfectly being called up right now because that's that character that he played. I don't know how much he's still doing it now, especially with the new people. Is he with that Schism group or is that separate?
Yeah,
he's still with the Schism group. Yeah.
Okay, so they changed his focus a little bit. They need to have him being the wasn't he supposed to be like a trigger SJW character? Isn't that what they was going for with him?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't understand. And then I love Chelsea Green. Not only is Chelsea Green fucking hot, she can act. Chelsea, isn't she playing like a Karen? I've been reading online. I haven't watched Raw. I heard she's playing a Karen. Is that true?
Character. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh shit, that sounds hilarious.
Yeah, she's been like a Karen type character. Yeah.
Oh,
that sounds awesome. Carmella and fucking and Chelsea Green are extremely intelligent. I love both of them.
She's too hot, in my opinion. When I associate Karen's being ugly, she's too high.
Right. That's a good point. But I like the effort that she's trying to do something different. Even though I agree with what you said, Omar, she's too cute because Karens aren't attractive. But you know what? You know who should be playing a Karen? Bailey. Bailey is the perfect Karen person. Look at the haircut she got. She has a Karen haircut.
Wasn't she supposed to be a Karen?
I think so, but WWE don't know how to write.
Yeah.
That's what Ding Dong Hello was supposed to be.
Yeah.
She's supposed to be an annoying Karen. They fucked it up.
They don't understand pop culture. That's the problem. Nope. I'm not even gonna say the attitude era. Look at even like the Ruthless Aggression era. They at least has some touches on pop culture, with the Cena character,
how popular rap was around that time.
Yeah. Yep. They don't understand that nowadays. It's like, look at what's happening. Let's just look at what's happening. What's popular? Drama. You go outside, somebody arguing.
All these reality shows and shit like that.
Yeah, even just in real life, people and they beefing all the time. You had the right versus the SJWs.
Right. And that's what they tried with Retribution, but they had shitty writers for it. Like, if you would have had good writers, it would have been, if you would have had like some writers from like, not this modern day Daily Show, the old Daily Show. Like, if they would have had writers from the Chappelle Show, if they would have had people like Donnell Rawlings and people like that right there, it would have been good. Because they would have had actual good people doing it. Bro, Donnell Rawlings made a goofy ass role on BMF funny. He was like, he had like a fetish with like dead bodies. Like, I don't even know why they added that, but it was funny though. Remember that son on BMF?
Yeah.
I don't know why they did that, but it was funny. I know that. He was like, what me said, come and say, motherfucker. He said, what are you doing with your weird ass up in here? And let me find out Lamar ass up in here. You're going to be laying next to them fucking bodies.
Oh, my God.
Another thing that they're not looking at pop culture is, why don't they have like I've been saying this for a minute. It's like, why don't we have like a Mexican like gang? Like where they come out, like you have like hot Mexicans and the crazy Mexicans type, kind of like the Mexicans.
That's what they tried with LAX, but they never redid it in AEW for whatever reason.
I'm talking about tried it. WWE, that was TNA. WWE never did it. Like you have a Mexican fashion, you have the crazy Mexicans, you have the hot Mexicans in it, and then they come out with low riders and the pit bull.
WWE had a chance to do that, but they went the OD stereotypical route when they had super crazy Psicosis and what's his name too, remember back in the day?
Yeah, the Mexican.
And they had them as the Mexicools.
The lawnmowers and shit.
Yeah, you see what I mean?
You know what?
Eddie Guerrero was cool. Rey Mysterio was cool. but they goofed all the Mexican talent all the time.
And then you know what would be better too is that you have that Mexican gang I'm talking about. Then you have like a black gang,
Yeah.
Hello Hazel, and then you do the blacks versus the Mexicans. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, you gonna get the media and SJWs will be on who's racist. But you know how that would draw eyes. You know how many eyes that would draw?
Well, I mean, it wouldn't matter what type of factions fight. I just want to see factions fighting each other, period. Like, you can have modern you can even have like Antifa, like actual Antifa. But the problem with the Antifa, which basically what Retribution was supposed to be, you have to have people that actually got controversy with WWE, like CM Punk. He should have been the fucking leader of the group. He got issues with WWE for real. Why not capitalize? And what they should have did was, because they always debut these factions like in the spring and summer months, which means the blow-off should be at SummerSlam. What they should have did was have them fight for their contract. That's what they should have did. Like the Nexus, for example. The Nexus was like low-key fighting for their contracts. That's what they should have did with Antifa. It should have been a big WWE group, or maybe the Hurt Business, or the Hurt Business were heels. So it had to be a babyface group. You could have put some babyfaces together, and they should have went against Retribution led by CM Punk at SummerSlam for their contracts. That's what it should have been, but it's not believed. JoJo, do you remember back? And speaking, I'm gonna take what Omari said with the DX, because this was fucking hilarious. And I love doing this because one day we got to watch, and this kind of separate from what I'm about to say, but before I lose my train of thought, one day we got to watch old school ECW episodes and laugh at the crazy shit that they used to have on like those promo packages and stuff. We have to watch that at some point. But as it relates to the DX thing, JoJo, do you remember back in when DX started, when it was Shawn Michaels? This was when Rick Rude was in the group. So it was early. This is before the Outlaws joined. So it was Shawn Michaels, Triple H, a little bit Rick Rude, and China. Do you remember when DX used to do those podium things, and they used to instigate fights between the other gangs like the Nation and fucking the Hart Foundation, and even those corny ass group like the Brodiquas or whatever, those dudes put up to their navel. The fucking what was that biker gang called? The something
Los Barricas?
Disciples of the Apocalypse or whatever they were called. They had those two twin brothers up in there.
You had Los Barricas.
Yeah, they have the Harris twins.
Harris brothers, right?
Yeah.
Remember when the DX? I vividly remember one of the standout moments being when DX told the Nation that the Bret Hart and them sprayed racist words on the fucking Shawn Michaels' face, and when he was doing the surprise face, he was like,
"Yeah,
oh, I heard they used the bad word."
Yeah, they used the other word for black people.
And it was DX that vandalized their locker, and they had to fight each other. That's what a good heel. They used to instigate shit. And Shawn Michaels, some type of way, convinced Vince McMahon to put the fucking European title over Davey Boy Smith, who's an actual fucking European. I still can't believe it.
That was some bull.
Do you remember the match, the goofy ass match that Triple H and Shawn Michaels had for the European title? Triple H like doing a goofy ass like people's elbow and shit like that. That was actually some funny shit, dude. I'm not gonna lie. And I don't even really like neither one of them that much, but that shit was funny, dude. I'm not gonna lie. He's like, I heard he put something racist, and Shawn Michaels did the face. He like,
yeah. No. No.
He used to do the kid, he used to do the face or whatever. And they had to fight each other in the back. That was fucking hilarious. And I think they had they sprayed N-word and blurred it out. And it helped that the commentary, which something else I hate with wrestling. Kevin Patrick tries his best to do it, but I think he's a better backstage interviewer. Almost, it even seems like Corey Graves is starting to get fucking tired, dude. Graves, don't get me wrong, Graves by default is better than all of them. I never thought I would say I want Mauro Ranallo to come back because that dude screams all the time. But at least his passion for the product makes it feel he has a big fight feel to it. Even when he's saying it's in Fuego in San Diego,
Mamma mia!
Yeah, mama, Johnny Gargano is breaking hearts like Valentine's Day. Even though when he's fucking spazzing out or whatever, but it's just the commentary is even on the video games. Oh my dude, you could throw somebody off a hell of himself through a table, and Omari plays the games too. They won't say shit. And I'm like, dude, somebody just got fucking thrown off a cage through a fucking table. Nobody's gonna react. Y'all gonna sit on y'all hands? What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
I got a question for you, for you, bro.
What's that?
Who would you have in the modern day DX?
A modern day DX?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna open it up to all wrestling companies because I don't think nobody in WWE really fits the bill at the moment. I would say Enzo and Cass. I put Enzo and Cass up in there. Carmella.
On that first part, I think Grayson Waller and Austin Theory fits it perfectly. I mean, look, yeah, they're both young. What Austin Theory like 25? They both young. They both look like college jocks. Like a lot of that. Like think of it, they fit that perfectly.
Maybe an NXT version. My issue with them is I would say I agree with you, but not right now because WWE's in a bad spot. They got to build them up first because only the marks are going to know that type of stuff. Like, yeah, maybe in a year or two, yes, but not right now. Like, you have to rebuild them. Cass and Enzo was a draw back in 2017 when they first debuted. They debuted in San Diego, and they're from the East Coast, and they had a fucking. If you go back and look at that Raw, they debuted against the Dudleys in San Diego. That crowd was rocking, dude. Yeah. They're not. That wasn't even. Now it'd be one thing if that was in New York. Of course, they both from the East Coast. I understand that. They was on the opposite coast, and the building was rocking. That shows you that those dudes were a draw.
And they were up, and then they went against the Dudley Boys, one of the most popular tags.
One of the most over teams ever, and got a bigger pop than so much so Bubba Ray looked pissed, like he was looking like these motherfuckers outshining us. You know what I mean? They actually were over, dude. And then Enzo don't give a fuck. People can say whatever they want about Enzo Amore. One thing you could say about that man is he got fucking balls, dude. If you cannot keep up with him on the mic, oh fucking well. You know who he reminds me of? A lot of people say rock this, rock that. And the closest thing as far as look, cadence, and presence is obviously LA Knight. But when it comes to like just they don't give a fuck, they will rip your ass up on the mic. The closest thing to the Rock is Enzo Amore. If you cannot cover a promo, he will bury the fuck out of you. He reminds me of Eminem. If you fuck with Eminem, it is over with.
Even over Thugonomics, Cena?
Oh, no. Cena's up there too, but Cena's a star. I'm talking about somebody that's not that star power. Of course, John Cena. John Cena will bury the shit out of you too. Oh, we lost JoJo for a minute. John Cena, don't get me wrong. We saw what he did to Austin Theories. Enzo Amore, if you cannot keep up on the mic, you are done. He's going to bury it. He don't care who you are, what your status is. Oh, well, if you can't keep up with it. He will bury the shit out of you, as you should. I'm sick of this era where people are saying just all their promos, you're the greatest wrestler ever. I saw your 5-star match. No, motherfucker, tell him why he needs to. Tell him why you're better than him. And he has to keep up. Now, don't bury him to the point where the match don't mean anything. But I'm saying make people choose sides. Don't have this cookie cutter ass bullshit.
Yeah, it's just a lot, with The Rock and Austin going back and forth. Cena and grilling on Edge and Lita. Cena and The Rock grilling each other back and forth. We just get this a lot. You don't get it like that no more.
That's what it needs to be. It needs to be wrestlers grilling the shit out of each other. It don't need to be this, I'm going to suck your penis in the pet. No. Grill. But get back to your question. Yeah, all the great, but not enough people don't know who they are. I will put Enzo and Cass. And a lot of people think China has to be big. No, China doesn't have to always be big. That was a one-time thing. And it's not too many big girls now that even fits that role. They don't have the charisma. The only person that has the charisma of China that's big is Jade Cargill. That's about it. The rest of them are just work rate wrestlers. It's nothing special about with the exception of Nia Jax, but she don't fit this scenario.
I was gonna say, I would go back to the China part, but I was gonna say Sammy Guevara. Say if Sammy Guevara went to WWE, he'll fit right in DJ.
Enough people don't know who he is. I put him in that group I put him in that group with Grayson Waller and them. Yeah, but I'm talking about he needs time. He hasn't been in WWE, so I won't put him in that quite yet. People don't know who he is.
World. Yeah, you're right, but like in my world, I'm building them up, and then I'm introducing them to the group.
Now, that's a different scenario. If you add to build them up, if you let me build them up, yeah, we'll do that in year one. I'm talking about based off what WWE has right now. Like, no, they wouldn't be in that. Now, if I'm able to build them up, yes, of course, that'll start now. Like, I will have multiple factions. To me, like, after SummerSlam, you should be having faction feuds because your next major pay-per-view is Survivor Series. That is a faction-based pay-per-view. So that's what we should be doing here.
Yeah.
We lost JoJo for a minute. He's back.
No.
Yeah. Yep.
I know a lot of people will roll their eyes at me saying Sammy Guevara, but the reason why I would say
Guevara's good. I like Guevara.
I mean, but he's like it's like Shawn Michaels kind of. I mean,
Yeah.
acting backstage. You put that on TV. How he acts backstage, taking other people's wife, taking other people's girls.
Right.
That's a degeneration thing.
I agree with you. They definitely could do that with Guevara.
Shawn Michaels could have did that in '97.
Honestly, I take another person from over in AEW that I honestly think he's a product of his environment. If Eddie Kingston was around Dusty Rhodes, he would have been a modern day Roddy Piper. If he was around Dusty Rhodes, he would have been Roddy Piper. And what I mean by that is because Kingston's a decent wrestler for what he is. I don't expect the motherfucker to have 5-star matches. That's not what he is. He's a brawler like Piper was. Piper wasn't a fighter. Piper's the greatest heel ever, and he was not a 5-star. He was a fighter. He's a brawler. That's what a fucking fight's supposed to look like anyway. But he would have if Dusty would have had Eddie Kingston, he would have been so much better than what he was. I don't know if he ever met Dusty, but if he would have had Eddie Kingston, he would have been good. The problem with Eddie Kingston is he's a product of his environment. When you're around nothing, because I honestly think he is passionate about the business, but he's coached the wrong way. He's around those fucking marks with these fucking nightmare factory motherfuckers that take wrestling too serious. What the hell has what's dude name that's with Cody Rhodes with the coach dude that wear the collar shirts? What's
QT Marshall?
What the fuck has he ever done to be credible for somebody to take him serious? What coach qualities? Now I get Arn Anderson or somebody like that, Billy Gunn. They've been there and done that. What the fuck has QT Marshall other than being Cody Rhodes' friend? What has he done? Why should any wrestler take his advice? He's a nobody. So that's what I'm saying. Eddie Kingston is around dude. Now, Dr. Tom Pritchard can teach you how to wrestle, but he can't teach you because he trained me. He can't teach you personality. That's not what he is. He can teach you how to bump and stuff. Of course he can. But personality coaches with people like Dusty Rhodes, people like Norman Smiley. Those are personality trainers. Road Dogg when he's not up Triple H's ass. He's a good personality coach.
Cena, if they was to become trainers, are people like people like The Rock or John Cena, if they was to become trainers, they would be perfect.
Will be way better than what it is now. If The Rock was the promo coach, he'd go down there sporadically to help out his Simone, but he not, because a lot of these guys, The Rocks and Austin and these Brock Lesnar, they don't fuck with Triple H. Like they're not gonna say it publicly because Vince, like they respect Vince and they don't want to tarnish Vince McMahon's legacy. But case in point that they don't make no effort unless Vince called them to participate with WWE storylines because they know Triple H. You think The Rock is about to come out of the retirement to work against a motherfucker like Bronson Reed? Why do you think Brock Lesnar said no to most of that shit they asked him to do for WrestleMania? He don't respect nothing. He quit until Vince told him to go back. He said, do it for me. I know you don't like it. Brock was going to be done after the summer if Vince didn't tell him to go back. They don't respect Triple H because they know Triple H is a fucking asshole. They're not going to work for him.
I think Cena partly does, but even then I could be wrong because there is rumors that Triple H tried to bury Cena back in 02 when he was coming up.
I would say Cena is the most professional out of the people out of Austin, Rock, because Cena kind of came up with Triple H. And I honestly think it's a certain level. Yes, he tried to get him fired, but it's a certain level of loyalty because Triple H's wife helped Cena get on TV. So I think, don't get me wrong, Cena not going to let Triple H fuck up what he doing, but he's going to be the more professional out of the people I named. Austin and all them was all Vince McMahon creations. Brock Lesnar, they came from Vince. Like Vince McMahon was still in charge when Brock was in that OVW class. Vince was still very much in Gorilla at the time.
Yeah.
So Triple H is John Cena was kind of on the cusp of those two eras. He was kind of the bridging gap between ruthless aggression and modern, what they call new modern era or whatever. So, but I don't think he respects Triple H either, though.
I don't understand why John Cena isn't a charisma coach. I mean, John Cena has charisma. He's one of the most charismatic guys that this business ever had.
Well, look at the people he tried to help. He was a big advocate for the Velveteen Dream before Velveteen Dream got in trouble. Cena was going to work with Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream messed up Velveteen Dream. All you had to do was talk to if you gay, just talk to of-age gay dudes. Like, what's up with you? Why do you have to go after the kids, man? Just talk to a grown gay dude. That's all you had to do, Velveteen Dream. You still would have had a career. You wouldn't be getting arrested at bathhouses talking about he bit people and all this goofy ass shit.
Word.
or just be
invite him. Remember that? This man was bugging from outside.
Or he could just be normal and just talk to a hot chick. But I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, I would want any dude to like hopefully talk to a chick. But I mean, if he's gay,
you talking to the underage, and you're entertaining conversations with underage people. Like, come on,
like this dude. Hey, it's hard to say. You can say all you want that somebody modified your voice, but that picture looked just like Velveteen Dream. It had the taco meat on his chest and everything. That was definitely Velveteen Dream.
Well, to be fair though, is that now, Grant, I'm not defending Velveteen Dream, but to be honest though, is that honestly though, it's like even if like a man can date like an 18, a 19-year-old, 20-year-old, and they'll still get lambasted. So,
well, I wouldn't care as long as they was grown. Now, me personally, I have no interest in 18-year-olds because I'm fucking in my 30s. But long as they're grown, you can do whatever you want to do. The problem is when you talk to underage people. Like with the thing with R. Kelly could have found any freaky adult to pee on. That would have been looked at as people would have like, okay, I don't want to be peed on, but that's grown people business. The problem is when you do it to fucking kids. That's what the problem is.
Oh yeah, I agree. I'm just saying though that we have come to a point that dating it's at the point like should 18 no women shouldn't be adults at 18 if that's the case. If they're considered an adult at 18, but yet when an older man tries to date them, is considered freaky. It makes no sense at all.
Well, that's just that's some of the people now, but I don't think most people would be okay with that. It's just, and we live in this era where everybody's sensitive about every little thing. Which reminds me of the Dave Chappelle joke, son. I was watching Killing Them Softly. I think it was Killing Them Softly. Yeah, Killing Them Softly, because For What It's Worth was the one when he was a little older, when he was in San Francisco. But when one of Chappelle's first off the set, when he came off making a Half Baked, and when he was on Nutty Professor, one of his first major stand-ups, when he had the blue Dickie looking outfit on, he made a joke about what is 18 really. And he was like, and R. Kelly was a point of reference with the joke where he was saying, he said what is 15, when he was talking about how the girls getting kidnapped and they can use the internet. He said they could be pissed on or whatever. And then he made the joke specifically about the kidnapping thing, and he was talking about how black kids are smarter at the age of 15 than other people are. And he was talking about how the little girl, the 7-year-old girl, she got kidnapped by some crackheads. They tied up. She chewed through the rope, and she was at home watching stuff on the news 45 minutes later. The funny part about it was he said, if you're going to kidnap me, you got to take me more than 8 miles away from my house. He said, that's 2 exits. He said, get the fuck off me, son. That's my block.
Yeah.
That's my block.
I remember that shit. That shit was funny.
This stuff. I would say what I say this though about it. We're gonna end this subject here. I'm gonna say this though. Yeah, it might be weird, an older man dating an 18-year-old woman. But if the 18-year-old woman is hot, is she really hot? She hotter than all these older women? Then I don't blame that older guy for going after her. Like Grayson Waller said, he goes for 9s and 10s. Right. Yes, and in my book, why don't you go for it? Yeah, she 18, but she hotter than all these 40-year-olds. She ain't, and plus she's not ran through either. That's the black.
I would love to have an episode where we talk about stuff like that. But Jason got to be on. He got to be in character. He got to be Faison No Love, son. JoJo. He got to be super shy. He got to be one. Speaking of which, where's this man at? Did he come through this weekend? Where the fuck is Jason at?
I talked to him a little bit. He came on. He came on late actually.
Oh yeah.
By the time he got on yesterday on Saturday, like we was at the event of the card, I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think so.
He got on late, and I was like, "Yo, we was all looking for you." He's like, "Yeah, he was busy.
Right.
He was caught up with some stuff." So I was like, "Damn, man."
Yeah, he'll probably be back.
Looking for you, trying to wonder where you at, but
right. He just you know how Jason. I honestly think he dodging that ass whooping from Comshot. He can talk that shit all he wants to. His ass is in protective custody somewhere. He hiding.
Hey, I told him we wanted to hear you talk about Leon Edwards' victory and all that shit. He started crying. He was like, "Oh, yeah. He won. That's all that matters."
That sounds like such a fucking Jason answer.
I'm just saying though, like Grayson Waller said, he goes for 9s or 10s. If an 18-year-old is a 10, she hot. Who? And you got all these 40-year-olds who've been ran through. I mean, of course the 18-year-old could be ran through too, but it's less likely. Like it's less likely that happens. So I mean,
it looked like we lost Omari. What's up? What's going on with everybody internet tonight? My computer gonna be probably tweaking them in too because I just got a Google update notification. It's probably this damn app too. StreamYard need to be updated.
Shit's just weird. I don't know.
Tweaking. I don't know what's going on today. My shit was acting up a minute ago. All right, let's try to wrap this up. What were we at? Hour 42. Okay, yeah, we probably good for another 10 minutes. Yeah, son. So yeah, Jason running from his ass whooping. Crater face. Yeah, but that shit with Chappelle was funny. He was like, "You got to take me more than a mile away from my house. That's 2 exits. That's my bus." He said, "Get the fuck up off me. That's my bus stop." I was fucking dying because that's something a black person would do. Like, nigga, that's my house. The fuck, that's the candy store I go to in the neighborhood. You know, I don't know if y'all got this out there where you live at, son, but here in Chicago, we got like the ghetto. Do y'all got candy houses where like somebody sell candy and snacks out of their house? Do y'all have that?
We have that. And so yeah,
okay.
Neighborhood,
yeah. Like the hood, you go to like that's the candy house. That's what we call it, the candy. You know, it's like a store, but it's somebody's house. You know what I mean? They got everything for the low, like shit that'd be like at like the bodega or something that'd be like $1 will probably be 50 cents at their house or something.
Right.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Speaking of bodega, I was tweeting you about you and Angel the other day about fucking because I listen to a lot of podcasts when I'm at work. And I was listening to Dame Dash talking about various things. And that man, don't get me wrong, Dame Dash, man, that man got he's an acquired taste, but boy, is that brother brilliant, man. He's so brilliant. I love the way his mind works. He's a boss, man, the way he thinks. Like I said, he's an acquired, he's a bit much sometimes, but he could teach you some things. And I love how he fights for everything, like when he wants something to be created or he wants something to be in a movie. I didn't realize how hard he fought to get Cameron and paid in full, because Cameron, like he was having.
Yeah, people didn't want Cameron and paid in full.
Yeah, can you imagine that movie without Cameron? He made the movie. Don't get me wrong. Mackay and Wood Harris was dope. Don't get me wrong. They was fucking dope too. But Cameron made that movie.
You needed somebody from that hood, from that area,
right?
To be
Cam's from Harlem, right?
Yeah,
he's from Harlem, Manhattan.
Yeah.
But I love how authentic that movie was, because that's how people are. Isn't that how it is for real? Do y'all have a lot of bodegas in the Bronx, or is that mostly in Manhattan?
Nah, there's bodegas throughout New York.
Okay, got you. So it's bodegas everywhere. So that's how it is. Like, do people be like just like chilling on the block outside of the bodega? Because I noticed bodegas are used a lot in rap videos in New York, and so that's how it is. People just be chilling on the block.
Yeah, people just be chilling. You set up a milk carton. You can set up a fold chair. Fucking sit by if they got like the little short little fence, the little gate shit, you know, like they have the trees, they have the little fence shit. People sit on that shit. Yeah, they set up and just be chilling right in front of the bodega all the time.
That's dope, man. I like that. That reminds me of you. Like, remember when you were younger and it'd be hot and they pop off the fire hydrant and everybody be out there kicking in front of the water. That's why when Nas on Cop Shot the Kid with the song with Kanye, when he said slap boxing in the street. What he said, break the hydrant in the heat. That's how the hood is. Like, people will be out there, you just rocking it. Somebody's barbecuing. That's what the hood is, bro. Even in Chicago, when I was going there, that's how it was. Everybody just out there chilling, you wrestling or whatever, but you probably got the basketball goal out, you shooting hoops, whatever. That's what, bro. We ain't have to, like Jason says, being broke makes you creative. We'll put a fucking crate up and shoot some basketball. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it was, son. Yeah.
Like, that's what people don't wait for a basketball hoop to be made and shit. If there's a gate, get a milk carton, get some what is it? The a coat hanger, roll some shit, tie that shit. There you go, cut it off, tie it. Then you make a basket.
That's man. Because I be looking, because I be watching stuff. Because I watch a little bit of everything, bro. I like to be cultured. I like to learn about everywhere. And I be looking about stuff with New York, and I'm like, bro, like the bodega must really be the spot. Like something's always being filmed in front of the bodega. That's fucking cool though. You know what I mean? That's like here in Chicago, in West Chicago, where I was born at, even though I grew up most of my life in South Chicago. But that's where most of the blacks live, is West and South Chicago. But and his Mexicans too. But when I was growing up out west, we had big ass block parties like how the fucking they used to be in the DMX videos with they used to be having the four wheelers and down like we don't have the four wheelers, but people be coming down the street with like cars, the muscle cars and shit, like burning out, doing donuts. We call them fifis here in the West. That's big in West Chicago. Ask anybody, like travelers, and we joke about travelers, but anybody from West Chicago will tell you about fifis. They know what they are. Fifi is short for a fiesta, and it's a big ass block party, but it's not what you think it is. Like people not out there, like gangs be getting along. Don't nobody be coming up blowing up the spot. That shit be rocking, bro. Look, when you get a chance, look up Chicago fifis. You'll see. I'm sure it's on YouTube. That shit be cracking. But I'm sure they have some form of that everywhere in New York or something like that.
Yeah, we have them shits in New York. There's spots like that in New York here, man.
Yeah,
in the Bronx, Manhattan.
Yeah.
Where is it? Washington Heights.
Yeah.
Spanish section. Yeah, they be having that shit crazy. Yeah. All them thick Latin chicks come out.
Man.
They dancing. Everybody dancing and wilding. Like, yo, you be like, man, give you some good 90s vibes, yo, for real.
Hell yeah. Yeah. People coming down the street with pit bulls and shit, DMX.
Oh yeah. Pit bulls. They got big ass chains on them just walking around. Yo.
That's some DMX shit like that. Now I was listening to an interview with Benny the Butcher, and he was talking about, man, DMX was a tough dude, man. This man used to be randomly, he was like Benny was talking, because Benny's from upstate, he's from Buffalo. And he was talking about, because isn't DMX from Yonkers or something like that?
Yeah.
So he would talk about how DMX was just, he could just go anywhere. This man would be up in fucking Buffalo shooting pool with random dudes. And I'm looking like, what deal? You know what I mean? I think with DMX being a celebrity, he has security, but that's the type of love people show DMX.
Yeah. Sometimes you see DMX with a small group, DMX by himself. DMX used to go by himself, travel by himself, go shopping by himself, go eat at spots by himself. He in the movie theaters by himself. That man would just go out there and just chill, because he'd be like, yo, you got all the people, all my friends, I got all these people, and I can still walk around and be around by myself and just chill, you know what I mean? Because I got peace of mind like that. That's what people don't understand. You can have all this money, but you got to have this peace. And the peace is what I need. That's how he be.
Yeah. Like that, man. Like when you get, it's a certain, that's how Twister is here in Chicago. Twister just walk around. Don't nobody fuck with Twister, dude. If you do, it's gonna be problems. Like he ain't stupid, but he's cool. Like he's accessible like that. And don't nobody, Twister's a gun guy anyway. Ain't nobody fucking with Twister, but
but people cool be so famous, and they be famous, and because they never go celebrity. They always stick to what what brought them to where they at, and that's why people don't get touched like that.
Like how you said you be saying Hell Real, like by your where you at?
Yeah, I tell you, used to see Hell Real. Hell Real be walking around, used to walk around the neighborhood and chill. Man had a house out here, chilling in his backyard, rolling blunts, just chilling.
That's cool as fuck, man. I like that.
Yo,
that is cool, son.
Yeah, some people don't understand. Some people don't understand, man. Like when Fat Joe was coming up, Fat Joe was coming up, and as Fat Joe had those rap records, people used to be like, yo, Fat Joe be chilling in the South Bronx. When Pun blew up and Pun was in the South Bronx, Pun was still going to bodega in the South Bronx. Get him some food and chilling and shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pun never let them use it, let the fame really get to him.
Right.
Man,
that's the cool ones. That's Chance the Rapper is like that. For people, Chance the Rapper's from Chicago. He goes to the what y'all call Albertsons, which is a West Coast thing. It's called Joel Osco here. Is owned by the Albertsons. He's in the supermarket just walking around. Like my family done seen him before. He just be chilling, but he get mad respect because his father is involved with local, like the mayor. He was under the Obama administration and shit. But Chance is good people. Don't nobody fuck with Chance because Chance is good people. He's done cool shit for Chicago, all type of stuff. So that's like Ye. Ye can walk around. Anybody fucking with Ye? Like Kanye West? No. Don't let that crazy stuff fool you, man. Kanye has something done to you. You ain't fucking with Kanye West. You know what I mean? Or anybody that's associated with Def Jam and bro, them Dame Dash, bro, them dudes move. They got like killers watching for them all the time. You know what I mean? They ain't get where they are being stupid. What's that?
Even I was gonna say, even out here when like, you know what I mean, when Nas used to be out here,
Yeah,
you know, Wu-Tang be out here.
yeah.
When Biggie was gonna come up, you know, Biggie used to go. Biggie was in the neighborhood shooting pool in the neighborhood, and
Really?
people would even be like, "Yo," people would even go and tell you that, like, "Yo," you would have to go and see for yourself if Biggie was in the neighborhood shooting pool. Because certain people wouldn't even let people know that Biggie was there shooting pool.
That's crazy.
That's
I like
crazy shit. And the only way you would know if Biggie was out and doing some shit is if either somebody seen him or when he started getting with Puff and they was blowing up. Yeah, because Puff always made the scene hot.
Right.
That's
He's probably coming up in there with fucking mink coats and shit. That's probably why he's probably coming in there.
He always want to make a scene. Puffy always want to make a scene. You ever hear people talk about Puff? Puff always want to make a scene. He don't think it about himself sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's wild. You know what I mean? That's really wild that they do that or whatever. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it, y'all. This was a fun discussion. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll see what they're gonna do with NXT. Y'all know we do Monday, Tuesdays, Friday, sometimes, and Saturday, you know, weekends, shit like that. Midweek, we don't really have much going on. You know, I don't watch AEW. Impact ain't really hitting on that, especially with Mickey James hurt. It ain't really shit happening in the Impact. So, well, I mean, but don't get me wrong. On an off day, off chance, or off day, something happened, we'll cover it. It's just like some shit got to be happening. I'm busy. I got 2 gigs. You know what I mean? So I'll be busy, and then I still always know what I want to talk about on the show. Like I talked to JoJo several times. Oh, before I get off here, I gotta address this with you motherfuckers. What y'all woke me up out of my sleep because me, JoJo, and the rest of us, we're in a group chat. These motherfuckers, you motherfuckers, and you, JoJo is the one that made this funny. Brian, motherfucker, fuck you, Brian. And I love Brian. Brian's my brother, but it's just like this motherfucker putting mandingos and Asian chicks in new like, son, Brian, I am whipping your ass when I see.
That's what I'm saying.
What the fuck? And JoJo, hold on, matter of fact, let me break it up. Just the way JoJo exclaimed, y'all. I'm pulling my phone out now. Let me go to. This was funny. He said, let's see. He said, "You got some motherfucking explaining to do."
Yeah, yo. I said, "What the fuck is this?"
Oh God! And yeah, I forgot they used to be wilding in New Japan back in the day. They used to, like, I thought Omega knew with the fucking jock straps was something.
Yeah, like shit in Japan used to be trippy, man. Them dudes had no thresholds in Japan.
Oh shit! I done seen everything, y'all.
No, it got crazy because you see how Brian showed that shit, right?
Yeah.
Did you see the clip going around on Twitter the other day over the weekend?
No. What was it?
I forgot what wrestling promotion it was. They had some hardcore matches going on. And bro, a dude got stabbed in the dick with a hypodermic needle.
What?
Yes.
Why? What?
I don't know why. And it would have been cool if the dude had his pants, but they literally pulled his pants and stuck the needle in his thing. Yeah. Bro, I'm like, nah. On top of that, they had a clip. And you can see the clip on the homie that I follow him on YouTube. I follow him on Twitter. And I watch his YouTube videos. Chiseled Adonis.
Okay.
They had a wrestling match. I don't know what company it was. And dude, Atomic dropped this guy on a chair.
With the dildo?
Yeah,
I saw that one. Yeah, I saw that.
Come on, man.
They just like stuff up their butt, man. Yeah,
I said, yo, I can't do this.
Dude, I thought it was something when that fucking asshole got lit on fire and let him throw what was supposed to be a table break. This man missed the table and smacked the floor, and he was on fire. Like
word.
Now this was a while back. This was during the pandemic. Remember, I think we was on Haps. Remember when we watched the video where the dumbass lit his leg on fire and they tried to put it out with the weed whacker? Remember that shit? What the fuck is wrong with these people, dude? Like, it's easier ways to die. Why would you? This man lit himself on fire and tried to put it out with a weed whacker. What the fuck, bud? Like, these people. Like this is more entertaining than most things on wrestling, but it's just I thought Scissor Me Daddy was something, but these dudes. Then the girl that was in what looked like the Hammerstein ballroom when the two chicks was fighting in the balcony and the one club, the other one that she fell and she hit the edge of the ring. Like, what is wrong with y'all? What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, oh my god, these people, son. I don't get why people just want to jeopardize their lives.
Now they just do it for the sake of going viral, yo.
Yeah, it's just this is why me and Jason need to film some stuff, and hopefully we get a chance to go to SummerSlam in August, but because it's going to be in Detroit, that's nowhere from my house, it's 4 hours away. But yeah, we have to start back going to film some of this shit, man, because it's so much wild stuff. We need to Jason need to get back on the show, and because I be having so many ideas of shit for him to do, but yeah. Anyway, Cope's Corner, Mr. B 1986 on Twitter, y'all. Go win yourself some money. They got a great show every Friday. I stop in when I can sometimes, but they got plenty to talk about. Go get yourself some money. Go download y'all one of them apps. What's that stuff that them apps? The betting apps that they use. I know.
Get DraftKings.
What's the other one?
On DraftKings, was it? I think FanDuel.
FanDuel, right. FanDuel's
and a couple other joints you can get on there.
Absolutely.
What's that shit? Prize Picks. There you go. Prize Picks. And some other joints.
Yeah. So go shout out to the big brother Cope's Corner. They got that great show, him and JoJo. Go win yourself some money every Friday. Cope's Corner. That's KOPES Corner spelled with a K. Mr. B 1986 on Twitter. All things MMA announcements, news, everything. Go check him out. Mr. B 1986. That's JoJo, of course. He's legit. I'm very satirical. If you don't take yourself serious, you'll like me on Twitter. It's TJ Time 1991. And I'm kind of nostalgic. I post cool shit, music. I'm a big music person too. I don't talk about nearly. Music is a large part of my life. I'm listening to music literally. I wake up listening to music. I go to sleep listening to music. I work listening to music because I'm good at multitasking. So music is a large part of my life. I love music. I wish it was a lane because all of us are also, we could talk about anything. We also know how to talk about music. Every single one of us, me, JoJo, Jason, we all know how to talk about music. It's just not a big market for music online because Twitter is a weird place. Like, it's just Twitter, like normal people can't get on Twitter and have a discussion. If they say, for example, Eminem is better than Post Malone, y'all probably gonna try to kill somebody. So it's just people don't have time for that shit. We just are content creators, so we deal with it. But everyday people don't want to get on here and be told they need to drop dead because they don't like Pappy or whatever that girl's name is. Poppy's all right. She ain't bad. I'm just trying to think of somebody modern, because some of these artists I ain't never heard of. Like, they be winning albums, and I was like, it's no way they got that many downloads without somebody putting some money behind them. Like it's not like I used to go to a music store and buy the album. Like, that was real success. When somebody got in a car, left their house, and bought your damn album. That's what was worth celebrating. All these people getting, little rah-rah, who's going to be irrelevant next year, shouldn't be getting these props. I'm sorry. And I'm not even a big hater. If somebody find a lane and they good at it, cool. But I swear these rappers be getting famous for doing absolutely nothing. You know what I mean? Like, they ain't battle rap nobody. They ain't sold no albums. And they got all these downloads. Like, come on, son. Like, dude.
That's facts, though. That's facts.
Big ups to old dude for being a hustler the little time he was. What was his name? Pooh Shiesty. But the fact that they had them top records for like 2-3 years, and I'm like, bro, he ain't really nothing. Don't get me wrong. Some of them drill rappers are good. Like Lil Durk is good. 21 Savage is good. Lil Herb was good for a while. They got people that Pop Smoke, obviously. He was probably better than all of them. You know what I mean? But because 50 Cent not going to endorse you if you're not good. 50 Cent got songs with fucking Pop Smoke. You know what I mean? So obviously they got people that's like, but it seems like it's a little rah-rah, little da-da every single day, and they not that fucking talented. So I would love to talk about music. It's just, it got to be the right time, and then it got to be a market for it. Music, as much as just, it never gets traction when we do it. But it's something we like try to sprinkle here and there. But yeah, once again, got to get off here, y'all. Get ready. Can't be up too late. But I will be back on tomorrow. Low key, I might have a freestyle episode. I'm gonna try to find another episode of Mark Henry's Therapy. Maybe the one when he's with the transvestite or the one with the white dude or whatever. We got to find, because son, that was some funny shit. What? Your sister? And that's all. That was funny. And the dude was licking his lips and shit, son. Oh shit. TV was different back then, son. That was some funny stuff. But we out, y'all, as always.
no.
Thank you, JoJo, as always, son.
No
We'll talk
problem,
to y'all
man.
again soon, man. Catch all that MMA good shit coming up, man. It's a good time to be alive.
Right.
Yes, indeed, son.